Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to be talking about Romantic Killer. It's a 2022 anime directed by whoever this guy is, and he's done a few movies or series or whatever. But there is potential here, but I'm disappointed. So Romantic Killer is about a little wizard creature coming into a girl's life and helping her fall in love. But it's kind of against her will and takes away her three favorite things: chocolates, video games, and her cat. It's actually hilarious, but it sounds really bad out of context now. We're introduced to ikemen that she gets to choose from and picks it up from there. So the ikemen are love interests, and she's basically forced into a rom-com situation. I think the best example I could give of this as a comparison is Isn't It Romantic?, where this woman gets thrown into a rom-com show or movie, and everything rom-com happens like men are thrown at her and they instantly fall in love with her and stuff, but she's not into it at all. Which is kind of the premise of this. It's like, she doesn't want to be in a rom-com, but she's in a rom-com now. Deal with it. It's actually very funny. There's cool animations, especially when the main character goes muscle man. I'm just going to describe it like that. It's got some cliche moments, but I'll get to that. I like the show. It's just not great and has a few issues in my opinion. Overall, I was worried about the MC falling in love with the ikeman. It's called Romantic Killer, and she said she would try to foil the wizard's plan because she didn't ask for this at all. So my thoughts were that the wizard would throw all these ikemen at her, and she would reject them all because the wizard doesn't really know what humans want. The wizard even went on a pretend date with the MC to find out what humans like. So it would have been cool for the MC to fall in love with someone completely out of the wizard's scope, so at least someone the wizard wouldn't expect. So love isn't like all those games and movies and tropes. But the wizard just nudged her and the ikeman together, and the feelings started forming with her apparently without the wizard forcing it. So now it's just a regular rom-com with callbacks to the whole wizard thing. So why did it not just play on that idea more? I would have preferred if the wizard took her three favorite things away sometimes and not take it away forever. If we're taking the wizard as a metaphor for her actually trying to go out more and change her lifestyle herself, that would have at least been a realistic take on not being consumed by your hobbies and actually going out. It's like the wizard takes away her three favorite things, which is her internally shutting out her obsessions so that she can go out and have a romantic life. That would have been cool. Spoilers for episode 10 and beyond. It was all fine until it took a sudden turn in episode 10. I know Ginger liked to use his hat and hide his face. I'm going to call him Ginger. It was a subtle behavior, but they should have brought it up at least once so that it could justify him being so worried that he doesn't have his hat at the carnival. I felt like they just thought of this, oh, let's do this, and they didn't actually write it into the story as nicely. It turns out Ginger has a stalker, which now we see is why he liked to hide his face behind his hat. The stalker came in, the MC was then attacked in an alley, and all the characters were there to protect her. That was also explained, but it's suddenly so much darker, like it's weird. So it went from an ikeman rom-com into a generic romance drama with like more drama. Then at the very end, obviously the villain is defeated, loose ends get tied up, confessions, then the wizard leaves, MC gets her three favorite things back. It's over, good night. That should have been the end. There's another wizard that comes to take over as like the new wizard because the old wizard interfered too much. The jock and the ginger see the wizard and everything is revealed. Then the original wizard gets to stay as a human. Why? You could have just left it on a neat ending. The wizard pushed the main character into the right direction and dipped. That could have been it because the whole point was him there to make them fall in love. But now that the two of the love interests know that they were manipulated, it might cause problems later on. Like, also, the whole convoluted explanation of why the wizard left and he couldn't come back. I'm not going to get into that. He could have just stayed. He could have just like, oh, I don't want to leave now that my job is done. Can I stay as a human? It was just way too complicated. You didn't have to remove him and bring him back as a human. He already has a human form. Just keep him there. It's such a bizarre choice for the final episode, honestly. It was weird. I'm also surprised that MC didn't just end up with the ginger like it was leading up to. He just hinted now suddenly he wants a romance. And then Wizard 2 said, okay, you should choose a partner before you graduate. So obviously leaving space for another season. Also, there's no season 2. It's confirmed. The series is done. There's no second season. I also would have liked the rich kid to change more, but he's still a stuck-up rich kid. So that just didn't resolve at all. But they could have just, main character fall in love with Ginger. But of course they need to try for season 2, so it is what it is. Anyway, the animation was fun. Cliche at times, and the music, everything was fine, very funny. The story was just too convoluted at the end, and I really think there was more potential. That being said, I give this a 7 out of 10. Despite everything I just said, I still enjoyed this a lot. The story got a bit weird, but it was still fun to watch. I actually watch series like little bits at a time, but when it came to this last episodes, I sat through them because I was like, oh shit, it's going down. So it got me watching, which I guess was the idea. But anyway, lots to be improved. Too late now. No season 2. It is what it is. Good show. So I actually predicted that the wizard was a metaphor for her wanting to go out and be a more sociable person. You know, that would have been a less confusing thingy. Maybe if you take out her and the wizard, it'll still look like a real show. But the wizard returned in human form, so that's kind of out the window. That would have been fun. And I don't want to say like this other show I'm watching, because that's spoiling. Damn it. Why doesn't everyone just watch all shows? Anyway, enough rambling. Rambling again. I'm watching a lot of shows, a lot of series. As soon as they're done, I will have reviews on them all, but still busy with them, so hopefully more reviews on shows coming up. I like watching shows. They're cool. They just take forever sometimes. So, anyway, thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.